I know, stop planting, start planting, make up your mind. Well, Extreme Gardening 101, don't dump your leaves out till you're sure the last frost has passed. I made a mistake and dumped the leaves out. Now we're gonna have to come up with another way to protect some of this young foliage. I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. Come on, let's take a look. There's a really good chance we're gonna freeze tonight. And we still got a little singe on these from the last frost. Now this is our tower. We're gonna go ahead and mulch as these came up. That's a good thing, because I'm gonna go ahead and put quite a bit of leaves in here right now as protection. Potatoes in this bucket are down into the soil, so I'm not worried about them at all. The foliage should be protected by that many leaves. And let's check out this other bucket. These hadn't come up through the deep mulch when that last freeze hit. We'll go ahead and cover these. We should be fine here also. And I believe that's ready for the frost. Now let's go in the garden and see what we need to cover. Right before that last frost, a bunch of these potatoes started breaking right through the mulch. They burned down, but they're coming back up with a vengeance. We got a pretty good sized one back here. So I'm gonna put some straw on here, I'm gonna put some leaves on here, I'm gonna put some totes on here. We'll see what works best. It's actually warm enough, and we got enough rain last night that I think we should be just fine doing it like that. Let's get a little hay on top of this. That ought to help protect that pretty good. We put some wood chips on it. Since these have come up right up through the wood chips and the hay, I think we're going to be just fine. I don't have to uncover these, they'll just come right on up through. That was one of my strategies for making piles. That way, it all needs to be spread out at some point. But I also knew that this was a trick we could use if we had to. Well, I think we got all the delicate green foliage covered. Some of our brassicas took it a little harder than the others. I'm going to go ahead and cover these with totes, give them just a little protection for the next night or two. Hey buddy, you want to help me cover stuff? Well, I've asked Riley, and he thinks we're going to just let those... Yes, I'm going to tell him. This is how you know it's spring. Look at the wild violets. Just a couple more days of hauling these in and out, and I should be good for the summer. We left the container garden out last night to get some rain. Our little lettuce garden also. And we got a bunch here that needs to go into the garden, but I knew we were gonna have one more frost. Still have all of these cabbages that we uppotted late. They're doing fine, but they're gonna need to get in the garden here pretty quick. That rain last night, the ground's good and warm. It's not supposed to get too much below freezing for very long. You can smell that storm in the air, can't you? Riley says you can do this too. If you want to see more Riley in the garden, hit that like button and leave a comment down below. He'd sure like to hear from you. We're just going to let those seedlings go tonight. They're supposed to be cold hardy. After some consideration, Riley decided we ought to put a couple buckets and maybe some straw over the young seedlings. Riley's helping make mulch, but he really did think we needed to cover those young seedlings. I think we both feel a little better. We'll see what we get. Now the stuff back here, it's been out in that cold, is cold hardy. I'm not worried about it at all. I think it's about dinner time. Me and Riley need to head to the house. Sure glad you came by and helped us cover these up. Riley'd like to make sure you're taking precautions at your house. You can do this too. And remember, until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.